Set to public and everything.
There, I updated the stream key. I guess our stream key wasn't valid.
Huh. Okay.
That's weird. I wonder if maybe you guys changed it for some reason.
No, I didn't touch that.
Okay.
If anyone did.
Well, love it, hate it, gotta have it. We're live. I
We're
wasn't
live.
prepared for this.
Oh,
With my new camera angle, you can see my straw hat and my Gene Boy.
Eugene Boy.
Gene Boy.
That's his name now. I'm only
Yeah.
calling him Gin Boy.
Gene Boy. Get out of here.
He likes
Chair.
the
Stupid
He,
chair.
he loves the gym.
Boy. Guys,
Boy.
guys, guess what day it is? It's the day that we're gonna read the new One Piece chapter 1097.
Oh,
Oh, here we
God, it was
go.
that thing. Oh,
Why are you here then?
I just really wanted to talk to you, man. I
Oh
miss you.
man, I'm flattered, but I see enough of you.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Aw,
Ah.
we got a Kuma cover.
I'm concerned. Why is this chapter called Ginny?
Okay, so first thing I want to point out, you're right. The chapter's called Ginny. When Ginny was introduced, there was an E before the Y in Ginny's name. There is no longer that E before the Y.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not. Because I
That
looked. You said that last time. Maybe you said that last time.
I
Someone pointed it out
yeah,
to me.
I said that. Is that not true?
And pretty sure that's just not true.
I
Yeah,
must have been seeing someone do a review of like a scanlation or something.
it's
There's
possible.
definitely I saw it with an E. I thought that was the official. Okay,
Nope,
so
not the official.
gotcha. Oh, ha! Look. So in the cover picture, it's Bartholomew Kuma catching salmon in the river, but the
Hmm.
salmon keep disappearing because of the pawpaw fruit, and they're trying to hand
Yeah.
him gloves.
Oh, that's what she's okay. Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
hilarious.
That's very funny.
That
Oh
appears
man,
to
I
be
also
Ginny
like.
handing him gloves.
I was about to point it out. It looks like I know we've never really had something like this before, where we're in the middle of a backstory or something, and we see the characters in said backstory being represented by
It's
a reading
kind of
request.
cool.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of when we had that cover story with Germa Double Six escaping Whole Cake, and we got an idea that Pudding was captured by the Blackbeard pirates, and then she showed up like that chapter with the
Oh
Blackbeard pirates.
yeah.
So it interesting that it's happening more and more. I kind of like when the chapter covers are a little bit more integrated into this what's happening currently with the story.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Now that I've had a good amount of coffee. All right. One Piece chapter 1097 Ginny. Reader request Bartholomew Kuma catching salmon in the river by Takashi. I definitely said Kuma there, and I'm just not gonna address it. All
You
right.
did though.
First page. 8 years after the God Valley incident, 30 years ago. Kumachi, I need your help. I've been coming here since your father's generation. It was such a shock when he up and vanished. Sorbet Kingdom, South Blue. But I'm glad to see his son growing into such a great pastor. I'm sure your parents are happy wherever they are now. Well, wherever could they be? I don't know. Pastor Bartholomew Kuma, age 17. It's nothing but old folks in this poor kingdom. Ah, that's so much better now. Thanks, my boy. I'm next. My back is killing me. You see him just pushing the pain out of old people. Oh, what a blessing it is, the miracle hands. But couldn't you extend hours to the weekdays too? And they're all just like kneeling and praying right in front of him. And then someone's stopping, absolutely not, only on Sunday. And here comes Ginny. She's saying, you're asking a lot for people who aren't paying us any money. Behave, you greedy old beggars. Oh no, it's Ginny the cheapskate. Shut up, this ain't a campground or a hospital. So pretty, but so foul mouthed. From what I hear, the men in town can't stop vying for her affection. He's like, stop changing the subject. But then again, she's already got Kumachi. The sight of Kumachi's face makes me feel at ease. And he's just like, that's so sweet of you. And Shinny's turning around, they act this way because you spoil them, Kumachi. I'd give you as much money as I could, Kumachi, but it was already hard enough just to get by while paying the heavenly tribute. And now we've got this new king, don't we? You like my old person voice?
Yeah, it's okay. You know,
I'll work on it. I'll
it's
work on
fine.
it. Here. All right, let me. They say that King Bakori is
No,
a
no,
cruel
go back. That's worse.
They say that King Bakori is a cruel man with a heart of stone. If we get sick, we can't pay our share of the heavenly tribute. And then he'll throw us in jail. It's a travesty, I tell you. The last geezer they tossed in his cell starved to death, I hear. Starved. He won't even pay to feed the prisoners. Stupid skinflint king. I always knew he was bad, the way he bows and scrapes to the celestial dragons. We have to be healthy, or it's a death sentence. And Kuma's like, well, I can help by removing any light illness or pain you're feeling. Come every Sunday. Thank you, Kumachi, and they're all just leaving. And
Oh, now
you
there's just a
see,
big ball of pain. I was gonna ask what happens to the pain. Oh,
hmm
Kuma.
it's just there at the front of the church, and Kuma walks up to it, sticks his hands into it, and takes all their pain on and screams a heck of a lot. Meanwhile, Jenny's just kind of sitting on the ground, just like holed up like that. She's just crying. Every week you do this, and they have no idea how much you suffer for them. There's no other choice. That massive pain and suffering won't disappear until someone accepts it. If left untouched, it makes its way back to the original person. But more than the pain, I feel delighted to see their happiness. I'm sorry to put you through this anguish. I'll toughen up and be stronger. She's like,
Oh,
that's not the
Kuma.
issue.
He's
They gave
so
us some food,
good.
didn't they? They gave us some food, didn't they? Let's eat. And she's like, yay, food! Immediately on a dime just switches her attitude. So they're eating and laughing. 25 years ago, Kuma at age 22. So 5 years after that, let's get married, Kumachi. And he's like, what? No. Why not? Marry me, damn it. You know you love me. I'll make you happy. And he's like, I'm sure you would, but
If
it's not
anyone
letting
yells
sense
at
much.
you, you have to marry me, you know you love me, marry me, damn it, I'll make you happy, they probably won't make you happy.
That or it's the beginning of the movie The Proposal with Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds. And in that case, maybe you do end up happy. Who knows? Anyway, he's getting flashbacks to his father saying, it's me, I'm the one who has Buccaneer blood, but my wife does not. Let her and my son go free. He's just thinking to himself, I don't want to bring you misery. And in an effort to change subjects, look, another article about the freedom fighters. They've caused protests in several countries, and now they're wanted by the authorities. Bragging.
Ooh.
He's so cool. He must be someone's hero, I bet. One day, I want to go out to sea and use my life to help others too. And we hear a knock on the door. Are you in there? And it's a bunch of folks with some food. It's a lovely Ginny. We caught a huge haul today. Please take some fish. And Kuma's like, oh, thank you, Gyo-Gyo. And she's throwing a bucket at him. He's just throwing a bucket at him. Dummy. Alright. 22 years ago, disaster struck. You see Kuma screaming at some guards, give your prisoners back. And the prisoners are like, help us, Kumachi. You dare defy the royal army? Who is this monstrous slug? I'm a pastor from a church in the south. Royal City, Sorbet Kingdom, Kuma at age 25. Okay.
It really makes you feel unaccomplished.
Doesn't it? I mean, by our age, Tom Cruise had already made Top Gun, and that makes me feel multiple things, really. Alright. Well, Father, I'm sure you've heard that the laws have changed. Now we're free to do what we want with people from the South. You're turning them into slaves? It is an unforgivable sin. And launches a huge Ursa shock at some of the guards. This is rebellion. Your Majesty, I must admit that this policy is going over poorly with the people of the realm. We've shifted scenes, obviously, to the throne room with King Bakori. Don't worry, they will soon be led astray by labels and look down their noses at the south. Starting today, only the north part of the island is the actual Sorbet Kingdom. The world government determines the amount of heavenly tribute owed by the number of citizens. In other words, the South, with all of its old people who cannot pay the tribute, should be cut loose. In doing so, the country will be
Dinosaur,
prosperous
do
and
you
balanced.
mind? Thank you.
Dinosaur?
Oh yeah, she was on my chair again.
Who's dinosaur?
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur? Oh, you poor
She a
baby.
dinosaur.
Okay, done with that. All right,
Okay, go
all
on.
right, all right. We're in prison. Kuma's sitting with Ginny and some other fellows in there, and he's asking, "Why are you in here too?" She's like, "We are clamoring for them to let you go, and then they beat us to a pulp."
Okay, so you keep calling them some other guys. You recognize those are the guys who go on to be Bonnie's crew, right?
I don't remember Bonnie's crew. They showed up
Yeah.
like twice.
No, these guys are Bonnie's crew. So they raised Kuma's daughter for him.
Oh, there you go, Chet. Now you know. I didn't know that. The more you know.
And knowing's half the
That's
battle.
actually good.
Ah! Turn the page! Turn the page!
Ginny, I'm afraid our land is turning into a place of the haves and the have-nots. King Bakori, and this is Ginny, King Bakori is just a tool of the celestial dragons. This whole plan came down from someone above him. If we want to fight back, we have to take on the whole world government. They see some explosions. Ah, who are you people? Run, your majesty. You won't escape, you sad imitation of a celestial dragon. He makes me boil with anger, and we just see two silhouettes of Eva and Dragon. The king's given in. The enslavement policy is no more. I'm so glad. I didn't want to live like that. Through someone's interference, the Sorbet kingdom avoided disaster. The span you're infatuated with certainly is a wild one. You'll be so impressed with them, Dragon. Kuma, Ginny, I'm here to get you out. So you've been imprisoned, eh? What? Is that you, bro? Eva. And is that... Listen up, Kuma. If you're still the same man as that boy back then, come with us and change the world. The freedom fighters led protests in countries around the world.
Excuse you. I'm
After the
trying to
arrival
sit
of the
comfortably. Dinosaur.
It was a dinosaur giving up troubles.
Okay, sorry about her. Go on.
After the arrival of the great era of piracy and the tragic fall of Ohara, the group took up arms, and with the addition of Kuma to the twin pillars of Dragon and Ivankov, they underwent a transformation and became the revolutionary army the world would later know and fear. And you just see a big group shot here with a lot of the prominent revolutionaries. You see, Eva's doing, his thing, yeehaw, and then Ginny's in the bottom left saying, "I'm going to."
Man, I don't
So
remember their
yeah,
names, but I think I see Mr. Crow and Kitty Cat.
where's Kitty Cat? I think I
Between the boxes
see.
on the right side. He at least looks like
He
a
looks a
cat from here.
little.
Maybe I need glasses.
He looks a little short and stout to be Lindbergh. I want to say the lady with the hat's Bella Betty, but I'm not ready to stake my life on that.
I don't think so. Hair color's different, but I see the resemblance.
It's mostly that she's a woman. Um, yeah, no, I could see maybe the person right next to that woman being um,
Curacao?
Karasu.
Karasu.
Karasu. How do
Okay.
you remember Bonnie's crew, but not the? Oh my
Oh,
god!
I hate the captains of the Revolution. I don't enjoy any of their characters or designs.
Oh my god! They're
They
so
are like
cool. You're
they are
oh,
like my least favorite part of the story.
can't believe you don't like Morley, dude. Jeepers.
Morley is the
Jeepers.
best of all of them, I'll say, but still not a fan.
Jeepers. All right. Next page, Dragon saying, "We still lack a solid source of funds. The plan is to act like mercenaries and lend our strength to rebellious elements seeking to overthrow their kings." Excuse me. The plan is. Oh, I read that already. "Those who wish to join will be taught how to use weapons and fight with them. One day, I want to raise this into a massive armed forces scattered across the globe." And Kuma's asking, "How did you learn to use weapons, Dragon?" "I spent some time in the Navy. Sadly, I couldn't find any of the justice they wear on their backs." And Eva's saying, it's strange to be at odds when both the Navy and revolutionaries just want to help people. And Kuma's like, well, I'm with you all the way, Dragon. The Dragon's saying, you won't regret it. 8 more years passed. Oh, and we're back at the Southern Sorbet Kingdom. Oh, is Kumachi back? I'll return now and then. I want to make sure you're all right. That's so sweet. Meanwhile, 14 years ago in a certain country, you look happy, Ginny. Oh, is it showing? And she's just sitting on a box with a gun with a bone sticking out of her mouth. Tomorrow's the big day. You're gonna meet up with Kumachi's group, remember? I can't wait. Wish I were Captain Kuma. He gets the affection of everyone's crush. What? Don't crush on me, you creeps. Grow up. What a mouth. And then Revolutionary Army Headquarters, Baltigo. Dragon. Come in, Dragon. Jenny's been captured? I'm sorry, the enemy caught us unawares. To be continued. That's it. That's the end of the chapter.
Okay, so what I'm curious about right now, Dragon doesn't have his tattoo the first time we see him when the revolutionaries are formed, and then he has it later, so I always thought it was just something he had, and now I want to know at what point he decided to get this tattoo and why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I noticed that too. It sticks out like a sore thumb because we're so used to
Dragon with a
seeing him
tattoo.
with that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. It was a bit of an abrupt ending to a chapter, but you know.
Okay, so wait, go back to that panel where she's like, "Don't have a crush on me." We see somebody's footstep appear
Mm-hmm. You
on a
think that has to do
certain.
with? Yeah, it's gotta have to do with it.
What's 14 years ago? What certain country could they be in?
Um, let's see. So Luffy's alive by this point. I don't know if that
We know
helps.
Ohara's gone. Luffy's definitely
That's
alive.
I don't
Someone capturing
know.
revolutionary captains.
Because here's my thing. Either the certain island or in a certain country bit is important or it's not at all. It's a 50-50 on that, and I
Oh
don't
no,
think it
I
is
I
50-50.
have wait. I'm going off mask theory for that. Where if it was
Mm-hmm.
just some island, why not give us the name of some random island we'll never be back to? The fact that
That
they're
is
not
true.
giving us a name and there's an event that happens.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking of other times that Oda's said in a certain country and it's turned out to be nothing. So,
Okay, that's fair.
uh, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, calling it now. Kuma goes to the island and faces this mysterious footstep person and is like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't kill Ginny or release Ginny, I'll become a warlord and you can make me into a robot. Beep boop.
Beep boop.
Like we
Uh,
know by this point Luffy's alive, so we know in the
yeah,
near future he needs to undergo his transformation. We know he's willing to sacrifice himself for his friends, and we know Ginny is not present in the present day.
yeah. Here's my theory. I don't think she's gonna make it. You know.
I don't get me wrong. I was on that until right now. Like, obviously she's not around. But how sweet of a payoff would it be that Kuma's sacrificed everything in his life, not to abandon Bonnie, but to save her mom? And she's actually being held captive in Marijwa, and now she has a reason to stay with the Straw Hats through the final conflict.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely get on board with that. I like Bonnie and I like her hanging out with the crew and stuff.
That being
So
said,
any
I
reason we can come to
like
that.
definitely I see Ginny as dead. But this last panel where it says, they've been captured and we know Kuma has to become a warlord and go through everything he goes through. I suspect that she's still alive and has been held as a bargaining chip this whole time.
What if? Hear me out, because there's still a piece we're missing from Kuma's story here,
What's
aside
that?
from the warlord stuff. Why they call him the Tyrant King?
Yep,
What's
you
up with
are
that?
correct.
So maybe it's like an Odin thing where they say, "Oh, we'll let Wano go if you dance like an idiot," or in this case, it's, "Oh, we'll free her if you become king of the Sorbet Kingdom and
No, because if they
act like a
free her,
tyrant."
if they just free her outright, then she has to die to not
Mm-hmm.
be in the modern day. And then why bother
Yeah.
capturing her and then just also killing her off? Like Kuma wouldn't have to stick to his word. Anywho, it's definitely possible. Half the way the deal goes is you have to go back and be king of the Sorbet Kingdom, but no
Mm-hmm.
more being nice, and you have to double the tribute, and he just becomes the tyrant everybody feared, even though we know he's a gentle heart who's just trying not to let more people get hurt.
Yeah.
I expect they
Yeah, I
make
could.
him into a tyrant, but a tyrant who hates every second of it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's King Riku situation in Dressrosa, but instead of one night, it's for years. So,
Yes.
and that could be hell for Kuma. I just real quick, I want to shout out one of the only comments in the chapter right now. So, does he marry Ginny, and is he gonna be okay? Oh man, he must be doing
Real
weird.
question though, like, do they marry? Because we know he's Bonnie's dad, and that's definitely
Hmm.
Bonnie's mom.
We're definitely assuming when we say that, but like, I don't know who else it would be.
I guess he also could just name Bonnie after Ginny. I guess that's possible. But then
Hmm.
who did he boink? Because she's
He,
trying to get boinked by him.
she likes food, and I know there's more to Bonnie than that, but like, that's a key trait that we're seeing from both of these characters. There's no way she's not Ginny's daughter.
And I gotta point out, like, yeah, especially with the new bang braid things, she's definitely resembling Atlas more and more with the hairstyle. So at what
Oh,
point
true.
does Vegapunk get involved? Like Vegapunk needs to see her to be able to model Atlas after her.
Yeah, yeah.
I really kind of want to
So,
rewatch Thriller
hmm.
Bark now. Like get that initial Kuma impression, but know he is this.
Oh man, we're not on break next week. Ooh,
3 weeks in a row. Woohoo.
it's been a minute since that's happened. Yeah. Now we still got some holes to fill in this backstory, so I think we still got like at least 3 or 4 chapters left in this backstory.
I'm fine with that. I am so fine with that.
Hmm. So I'm starting
Like
to think maybe this isn't the tragic incident that takes Jenny out of the equation. Maybe does rescue her, and then we get something else that takes her out later.
maybe she dies in childbirth.
Yeah, maybe. So I don't think we're done with Jenny Chest yet, but I think we are
No,
getting
no,
close to
no.
being done with her.
I
We'll
just want
see.
to quick shout out Oda. All these full body shots of Ginny, they're all right with me. They are okay.
We're okay. Yeah, yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty
like
neat.
that's fine. Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, like he didn't need to do this for us, but he did.
I just
Do you
I'm
think?
gonna go back
Oh,
on what I said earlier. I
oh,
don't think this is gonna be the greatest backstory in One Piece yet, since we got immediately away from God Valley.
yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, that was super hype. It was so cool while we were there. But I thought we were gonna get all of God Valley and then Kuma. And understandably, Kuma just happened to be there, so we mentioned it. But
Hmm.
this is still a great backstory. I was expecting mega super hype, awesome, extreme ultra.
Yeah, I was expecting a little bit more from God Valley too,
I
but
don't know who
obviously
wasn't. He took us there. Son of a bitch.
he's the master of that. He's been blue balling us like the last year with everything that's been
You
going on,
can't say
honestly.
he's
So
been blue balling us though, because look at all these full body shots of Ginny at
okay,
very
okay.
age appropriate ages.
That is true. It is age appropriate. I do gotta give him props for that.
Really, I
But
don't
yeah,
know. There's not too much to dissect here. We just get a bunch of panels of Kuma being a real G and taking on everybody's
real
pain.
G.
We get, he
Hmm.
gets thrown in jail, and that's how he becomes a revolutionary. But all in all, it was a pretty uneventful chapter. A lot of good, heartfelt moments, but nothing really going on besides they grew up and Ginny got captured.
I will say, I like how they establish, and it's very quick how they do it, but I like the geopolitical nature of it all. Of the
Hmm.
king who they establish, oh, he's very tight with his money. He's not even paying to feed people in the prisons, and then you fast forward in time a little bit, and he split the kingdom in two, so that the tribute they have to pay to the celestial dragons is just a little bit less. Um, I just like that little bit of world building there, and yeah, the king's an asshole.
No, I like that. Also, we do need to take a second to address that it is confirmed Dragon spent some time in the Navy.
Yeah,
Take that for what you will. I don't know who didn't see that one coming, but at least now it's confirmed.
yeah. I don't know. I just kind of always assumed that was the case. Maybe we knew that. I'm
Hmm.
honestly not sure. Um,
No,
but
it's never been
regardless, we got
confirmed up until
confirmation
now,
here.
but everybody assumed Dragon was in the Navy at some point.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense, you
I
know.
mean, he's like Sakazuki's arch enemy. He only calls Luffy Dragon's son.
Right, right. But I feel like that's more because he's the most wanted man in the world. But
See, I always took it as like, I don't know, maybe Dragon was his prodigy, like Kuzan was to Garp. And then instead of growing up to become a great marine, he abandons and becomes a revolutionary and wages war against him. And Dragon just, or sorry, Sakazuki just never forgave him.
um, well, here's the thing. I think Dragon's older than Sakazuki,
Is that true?
or they're yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe they were like best friends in the Marines then. I expect they were in
I
the
could
Marines,
see it.
and Sakazuki never forgave a betrayal. Maybe he was
Yeah,
Sakazuki's mentor, and then Sakazuki was like, "No, this isn't what you mented me."
yeah. No, I could totally see it. I have the way the way Dragon phrases it. How they didn't really stand up for the justice on their backs, which is a cold line, but um, it makes me think that he wasn't in there for super long, or maybe he was, and I'm just taking it the wrong way. But I don't know.
I
So it's possible
mean,
he could have mentored some people.
now as interested as I am with Dragon and Sakazuki, what's up with Dragon and Garp then? Because in the Marines at the same time, presumably father son. That's got to drive a wedge between you.
Mm. I mean, I could also see it being that Garp wants him to learn on his own, so he didn't mentor him. He just is like, "Hey, this is my son. Train him,"
Oh
and
yeah,
then they
no, I'm
just
not
talk
saying Garp was his
occasionally.
mentor. I'm just saying like they were definitely there together, and just
Hmm.
based on strength alone, there's no way Dragon was just a peon. He was bare minimum
Right.
captain rank.
I could see it. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does
I don't
he
know.
resent his dad for being part of it? And I call him his dad. I need to point out it's never been confirmed Dragon is Garp's son, just that he is Luffy's dad and Garp is his grandfather, but we don't know what side, paternal or maternal.
Well, no, because Garp mentioned his son was a revolutionary now in that flashback with Aokiji.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, he
And
never
I think
said which
even then you're like,
revolutionary.
yeah, no, I think
Maybe
even then
Kuma's
you
his
said something
son.
similar. Yeah, it's possible. Garp Buccaneer. That's how we get
Hindenburg.
it all in Luffy. Um,
Okay, no,
oh
I'm
man.
fine if they're officially confirmed. I just always held out hope that we phrased it like that on purpose, but if that's confirmed, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean they've not come out and outright said, "Hey, this is Garp's biological son,"
And
but
again,
like
I'm not trying
all
to
signs point to
argue
that.
and hold out to the last bit of hope, but I will say he
Mm,
could technically be calling him his son and meaning son in law, Like
that's Like,
mothers and fathers-in-law refer to their sons and daughters as sons and daughters.
I want to say, I'm 90% certain that's what you said when we read that line.
It's fairly possible. Again, I'm not trying
Uh,
to die on this hill. I'm just pointing out the possibility exists.
I mean, you're not trying to die on this hill, but like you're standing awful firm on that hill, man.
Yeah,
It's
now I'm
okay.
up
You
here
can
with a
be wrong.
broken leg. I'm
You've
just
got
like
like the stick.
bleeding, vomiting, not doing great, but I'm not going home either.
You might have smallpox. Who knows?
Please stop
It's
killing me
just
on
not
this
looking good.
hill. Just let this hill go
Let me have
away.
this hill.
It's just one hill, Oda.
We're not even like attacking him anymore. He just won't leave.
he's just he's
It's his
seriously
choice at this
sick and
point.
infected. Please.
Oh man, he'll die on his own, man. Just go. We're asking you to leave. Not for the hill
Okay,
at this point.
but bare minimum, Dragon is someone Garp directly holds as a son.
Hmm.
So the betrayal's really got to sting deep there. Maybe that's why Garp was training and wouldn't take on Kuzan. Is that a possibility?
Hmm.
Like maybe he was training Dragon and Dragon left, and Garp was like, "I'm not teaching this to another seditionist revolutionary," which then adds to when Kuzan goes on to betray him later. That
Maybe.
could actually be kind of fun. I just thought of that.
I don't know, because he did teach him about the battleship bags, and the way he talks about Dragon, it didn't seem like he was super upset. Like he's kind of holding his head and he's like just kind of sighing. He's not necessarily upset or torn up about it. Like I don't know. I think Garp's fairly easygoing because even now, like, what his grandson's one of the emperors of the sea at this point. He's if he knew that, he'd probably just start laughing. I don't know. That's just
I
how I see Garp personally.
I get that we're in Endgame, and I get that the story is moving faster than it ever has before, but it's still too slow for me. I need all of these answered like next week.
Man, and that might be one of my complaints, and I don't know. Maybe it's just because we're only a couple of chapters into this flashback, but it feels like we're just rocketing through everything.
No, I'm so fine with the like. I'm a slow burn kind of guy, but if we're
Hmm.
really in Endgame and he really wants to finish the series, like we're not cutting out the Kuma flashback. We're just getting it rapid fire, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm against that. Like, it's just something I've noticed. Whereas something like even the toys, Kairos's flashback in Dressrosa felt a little bit more drawn out, and that has a good payoff in the end because of that, I think. But here, not that this won't have a good payoff. I'm not saying that. Um, I'm just. It feels like we're not. I'm not building up an emotional investment in who Ginny is because it's like, well, I don't like she's cool, but like
Okay,
we've, you know, maybe
hear
that's where I'm
me
coming
out.
from. But
I'm just
hear you
throwing
out.
this out there.
He's throwing this out there.
I'm not going to go into extreme detail on this, but what if
What if?
Ginny, I forget the name of the fruit, eats Bonnie's fruit,
Hmm.
and then, like, I don't know, maybe the celestial dragons capture her here. She's, fed a fruit as a slave because they like to do that and then drown them or whatever. Kuma frees her. She goes into hiding as a child, pretending to be Kuma's daughter, but Ginny is Bonnie. Is that possible?
Hmm.
You
It's
know,
not.
because we have
Not
Kuma it
possible.
like this chapter saying, "No, I don't want to marry you." What if he doesn't want to,
Hmm.
but he views her as a little sister and then maybe even a daughter figure? That would explain
So
why we don't
then,
have a confirmed age for Bonnie
yeah,
and why all these guys hang out with her. Maybe they're not raising Kuma's daughter, maybe they're all just simping over Ginny.
maybe they're raising his wife. Whoa.
Ew. Groomer
uh,
much?
Grooming rumors aside, Kuma. Um, that's an interesting theory. I hadn't necessarily thought of that.
Yeah, again, that just popped into my head. That's half baked. It would certainly help if we could have the color of her hair.
Hmm. I have to imagine it's some sort of pink, though. Just further add fuel to your theory.
But maybe that also adds to why Bonnie wasn't executed when Sakazuki had her captured. Maybe they capture her here for some reason.
Mhm.
And I don't know, they want her. Listen, I like I said, it's not fully formed. I don't intend to die on that hill either. I'm just saying maybe it's possible.
Yeah, it's certainly something I could see Oda pulling out, just saying, "Hey,
It would
this is
certainly
Bonnie."
explain why there is no Ginny in the modern day.
Hmm.
Oh, but then what would the great tragedy of Kuma's flashback be?
Yeah, and I know we definitely saw, just briefly, of course, with Bonnie when she was being held by Jay Garcia. She's thinking about as a kid when Kuma would tell her about, Nika. So
Yeah, she would definitely have to like revert to a child and then still spend time with Kuma. That I think it falls apart if you think about it too much.
hmm it's a
That's
good
fine.
theory, though.
I'm glad I didn't die on that hill. Busy dying on this
Yeah,
dragon isn't related to Garp Hill.
oh man.
I think that's about all I got for this chapter. You got anything we're missing?
I don't think so. I got my piece out about um, the way the Sorbet Kingdom's divvied up. I liked that bit a lot. Um, yeah, no, I don't really have anything. Um, yeah, no, I'm good.
Excellent. Well, guys, this has been OPOOM, One Piece of Our Minds. What
Just
we'll
one
be
piece
back.
though.
Yeah, just One Piece. Both minds, One Piece.
One piece.
But we'll be
The
back
mind of Kaido.
tomorrow. I think the plan is to be getting into some Fortnite in the evening, some fork knife.
Fortnite Battlefield.
Finally, come out of retirement, break off my mad skizzles in no build mode because I'm scared of building.
You should have seen him. We were playing off stream the other day. He was murking fools left and right, ruining kids'
Killed
days.
9.
At least. So watch out.
But yeah, we'll be back with probably Fortnite tomorrow. God, I need to figure out this camera situation. And then what? Thursday we'll be back more FTP and possibly starting Divinity. Huh? What? Maybe.
Who said that?
And then we'll be back again on Sunday with some more OPOOM. I think Austin may or may not have a stream coming up at some point in the week. Keep your eyes out for that. Always a little fun to have a little surprise going on there. But guys, that's everything we have for you today. If you are enjoying the content, please consider subscribing down below. If you're not ready to subscribe, just consider leaving us a like. This camera angle not working for me. All of my hand gestures are not being captured. I'm gonna have to move them up here. Nah, I'm moving it back. Anywho, guys.